Welcome to video number 20. This one is going to be about forensic science. So questions that are included in forensic science include who's the suspect, who's the victim, what happened, when and where and why, and what is the evidence. All right, enjoy a quick clip.
Lisa's a 9-year veteran of the RCMP's forensic unit. Her job, find the clues, read the clues, and put it all together.
This is him leaving, because he goes around and gets caught.
In the yard, she finds gloves, zap straps, bear spray, balaclavas.
It's still steaming warm from someone wearing it. Yeah.
Every item meticulously marked, photographed, cataloged.
What was their intent when they came here? They're not coming for a social visit. Why are you coming to a strange person's house with these items on you? We're going to have to pick this up a notch. Okay. It's going to start washing things away.
In the snow and rain, this is what life is really like inside the forensic unit. Slow-paced, tedious, and incredibly detailed.
So when you are defining and describing forensic science, here's a good definition for you. It's applying science knowledge to legal matters, and it is intended to be used in court. So the other thing we want to talk about here is the CSI effect. And what does that mean? Well, it's exactly like the TV show CSI, but what it is that victims or juries have expectations about what can be revealed from evidence presented in trials. This is called the CSI effect. And what it is, it's the reality versus what you see on TV, and what you see on TV is not always real.
On certain TV shows, crime scene investigators seem to do it all. They interview suspects and analyze clues. But that's not what real CSIs do. Senior investigator John Carey and his team do one thing, and one thing only.
We are very specialized. Our job is specifically dealing with the evidence, going into the scene, collecting the evidence.
The work John and his crew perform creates the basis of the entire investigation. If they smudge a fingerprint, or don't perfectly follow procedure, or if they contaminate the scene, the whole investigation can be thrown out of court, and a criminal could walk free. Thanks to TV, crime scene investigators have to deal with what they call the CSI effect when they testify in front of jurors.
If it doesn't match up with what somebody saw on a television program, which they now believe to be the way to conduct it, they may feel that we did not do our job.
All right, here's some history of forensics. This goes all the way back to 8th century BC. China was the first ones to use fingerprints for book authors. 1784, England was the first record of using matching evidence to convict a murderer. And in 1835, Scotland Yard uses a bullet comparison to solve a case. All of these things are forensics. Now, as you guys will find as we go further together this year, is I always include an old dead dude. So Archimedes is my old dead dude here. He is considered the father of forensics. He was a Greek mathematician, and the first sort of piece of forensics he did was he determined that density can be used to identify gold, just like you guys have been using. A little bit more history for you. 1905, President Roosevelt established the FBI. 1921 was the first polygraph or lie detector. I'm sure you've seen plenty of those on TV. In 1986, the first use of DNA to identify two victims. DNA profiling has a lot of, I think, publicity and a lot of information that are out there. And what is it actually? Well, it links cells found at a crime scene to a person. Each DNA is unique to each person, and scientists use DNA to make genetic profiles of suspects or help match them.
DNA has changed the criminal justice system. It's kind of surprising the small amount of DNA that is needed to obtain a result, like the cigarette butts, the drink straws, toothpicks, things like that, that in years past would have never been suitable to be tested, but now are tested routinely. Each case is different. You have some information about what happened in a case, but it's all about what that particular item of evidence has to show. What the goal is to remove a tiny bit of that sample of that stain and carry it forward for DNA analysis. There have been instances of exonerating somebody that may be falsely accused and getting them, their freedom back. That is one of the main powers of DNA.
So DNA evidence can actually be used to help solve cases, but also can help people be proven innocent, ones that have been put in jail before DNA was used. Chain of custody is a big deal when you are talking about forensic evidence. No one is allowed to tamper with it. It must be carefully documented. You always see them putting them in the Ziploc bag with their names. It has details as to who's had access to that evidence, and that's detailed from the time they collect it to when it's presented in court. All right, here's some information about digital evidence.
Digital evidence recovery is the new DNA. People think that they deleted it, it's gone, and it's not. No one ever thought to analyze computers until the last decade or so. We physically remove the hard drive. Our software will allow us to pull up that deleted information. And then we actually sit down and have to go through it file by file. There's just all kinds of information. People just don't think about what they're doing when they're using a computer. You learn a lot about a person, who they email, financial information, their love life. You name it, it's there.
Alright, well I hope you've enjoyed this video as just giving you a very beginning or basic understanding of what forensic science is. Things I would include in my summary is definitely a definition or a description of it. I might include my old dead dude, Archimedes, or maybe some history, and definitely would touch on some evidence including DNA, some digital or computer ones, and the chain of custody as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in class.